Hey guys, it's Canadian Kyle here at the Wealth Holders Podcast, and today I'm joined with Vincent. Now, out of respect, I'm not going to try and pronounce his last name, but he is the CEO of GoldSpot Discoveries, ticker symbol SPOT on the TSXV, and SPOFF on the OTCQX. GoldSpot's a machine learning and artificial intelligence company focused on the mining and exploration industry. Vincent, thanks for coming on the show today.
Yeah, thanks, Gal, for having me today. I know the last time, French name, Vincent Dube-Bourgeois. Thanks again for the introduction here.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that's how you pronounce it. But so I'm going to start this interview off like every other one. I asked my guests what they were doing when they were my age. I'm 26. So what were you doing from 20 to 26 years old?
Yeah, 20 to 26 years old. So I'm now 31 years old. So I was doing my bachelor's and master's at this time. Yeah, and then I founded GoldSpot about your age, about 25 years ago now. So about 25, 26 years old, this is when I started GoldSpot.
So can you go in more detail about that? Because I did have Dennis, the president of GoldSpot, on a few months ago, and he told his story about the Integra Gold Rush Challenge. But you were actually the guy in the group that placed second, and it was just students, right, in your group. So why don't you go ahead?
Exactly. So that's it. Yeah, that's a good story here. So really, I was doing my master's in Quebec City, mineral deposit, geochemistry, and with a group of friends there at the university, we saw this Integra Gold Rush Challenge. So as student, we're not paid well, and we see there's $1 million in prize. So we decided, well, might as well try something. And this is where we started playing with the database. And at that time, machine learning was really hot. So we had universities here in Montreal with pumping new research, and AI, machine learning was a really hot topic. And at that time in mining, almost nobody was using this. So instead of using the old traditional approach of geology and then structural interpretation, we decided to combine this with machine learning. So myself, as a geologist, I had no experience in coding. So I started learning nights and weekends, how to program a bit, how to code, do the basic stuff, calling the functions, maybe doing some machine learning techniques with the helps of some colleagues here. So as we were all geology students, it was a rough start. The algorithm worked a bit. They were definitely not the best, not the most efficient, but it was the first step towards GoldSpot and towards the idea of using this big data and new tools towards mineral exploration. After the Integra Gold Rush, meeting with Denis, talking with him, Colin, CJ, that are now part of the company and business, we decided to try the same approach. Instead of looking at just the Sigma and Lamaque mine, really large local scale in Val d'Or, we decided to take the approach of the full big picture, the IBTB. In the large regional scale, can we use machine learning to find new targets, new areas that were not looked at, or maybe areas that companies do have good ground but are forgotten because they don't do enough marketing, they don't know what they have. So this was the first idea's inception of GoldSpot. It worked well. They decided to we decided to start the real business with it with investors, and then keep going and developing the idea. We were able to hire more people and some more geologists and data scientists afterward, geophysicists, working with Eric Sprott, which was our first client at Jarrett Canyon. He loved the idea. He took a 9.9% share ownership in the company at first, and then keep working the business, developing the different ideas and program up to where we're at now. With just within GoldSpot, without the subdivisions, we're over 50 people. And lots of research going on, different tools being created, such as Litholens, a pure AI tool, and different geophysical features that are being integrated within all this workflow, and plus the 50 plus clients we have up to date. So really, from starting with an ID and working programming nights and weekends, it was rough while still doing my master's, but to where we're at now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say, is that you start this idea for a challenge. And did you ever picture it to be where you are, a successful company, at least 50 employees? Like, did you just think it was just going to be a good project to make cash and this challenge, a cool experience? Like, did you actually see yourself starting a company right out of school?
I didn't see myself doing that. That's a good point, Cal. I think honestly, what I said to myself when starting this, I have nothing to lose. The only thing I have to gain is experience and great connection in the mining world. If this is where I want to go, I always wanted to be in the business side of things and not just going in, let's say, a big project and logging core. So I thought that was a perfect opportunity for me. And really, we took it a step at a time. It wasn't easy always. It's never easy. It's always hard work to get there. But again, it's what made GoldSpot sticking together with a group of people we have now and building a family around it, which we're able to deliver new product, interesting projects for clients, making discoveries. Newfound gold is one of them, Quebec precious metal as well, and others. So by sticking together, it really helped us into making what GoldSpot is.
Perfect. And why don't you go ahead and explain what GoldSpot is for the listeners that haven't done their due diligence yet or might not quite grasp it? What is GoldSpot's business model? What do you guys do?
GoldSpot is not the easiest business to understand. So to start GoldSpot, we are a AI consulting company. We work with majors and juniors to provide service to them in order to find more mineralization in their deposit that they have or are looking for. So that's really the core of the business, how we started, innovating along the way to make more discoveries. So along that path, what we found was the majors can't pay for their service. They'll happily pay cash for service. However, the juniors don't have the capital to access a 20 and now 50-man team. So what we decided to do there is, instead of working just for cash for those companies, we decided to also invest in the company and work in exchange for shares or work. So we participate in a private placement, and the company then hire us to work with them. That way, we're able to bring all this team, this exceptional team we built, to a junior company that doesn't have access to it. And most of the time, it leads to great discoveries that they would not have made before without a team like this. So this is how we're able to build a portfolio of cash and equities, which last quarter was over 70 million in asset under management, from where we started with only 7 million in cash when we went public. By investing into those companies and helping them grow their project and keep rolling it to another project and so on. So now as I said, we had over 50 clients, and our portfolio grew tremendously over the years.
Okay, thank you. That was a great explanation. Now, can you explain where the income comes from? Like, is it the most profitable thing, the equity positions you have? Like, how does GoldSpot make its money?
So we have multiple ways of making money. So the first thing is the revenues that are being recognized from the client. By providing the service, the client, we bill our hours to them, and we're able to pay for all overhead, management, and R&D. Our R&D budget is tremendous. So this is how we were able to always keep on top. But the real upside with us, it's our investments. If we take a look at Newfound Gold, we invested at 40 cents, and now it's around $8.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, our investment grew exponentially. It's tremendous. Same thing with some other companies that we work with. The gains that we're able to have there really makes GoldSpot loads of money. However, what we decided to do in order to diversify the business recently, we acquired 3 different companies. The first one is Ridgeline Exploration Services, a consulting shop that had good geophysical tools. So we're able to acquire geophysical data for our clients that don't have it. So it's another source of revenue for us, which diversifies our business, but is also very well vertically integrated into the company. The second one that we recently acquired that just closed is Geotic software. Geotic, they provide core logging software for clients all across the globe, as well as 3D modeling software, which helps us, one, integrate our different tools into this platform and also generate more revenues. And finally, the third one is a CEO.ca, social media website for investors. With all those combined together, we're able to generate different type of revenues, diversifying the business while staying in the mining and exploration space. in order to provide core logging software, geophysical acquisition services, machine learning expertise, and now as well marketing services.
Okay, so you said a lot there. Now, I don't know. I think I want to start with Geotic. Why don't you explain exactly what is Geotic and how is it going to add value to Spot?
Geotic is the perfect SaaS business. So Geotic, they have, as I said, core logging, 3D modeling software for the company. So our clients will have access to those softwares, to those tools, as well as new clients that we will bring on board. This is a very good business for us since the companies that have the software just pay it year over year. And as we've seen with the Sequent acquisition there, Bentley System acquired Sequent for $1 billion last year. This, I don't think that Geotic is worth $1 billion here. I'm just saying the potential that this company has to grow and keep expanding the market. And so what a good benefit for GoldSpot and Geotic together is the AI tool that we built. One of them is Litholens, a core logging software, automatic core logging software that we're able to take pictures of the core. And then with this AI system, we're able to create log and description of the rock automatically. This is a very good integration of those two software together, and the market for it is tremendous. There is millions and millions of dollars spent every year into getting core off the ground. However, not all of it is logged properly. By having an AI tool to log it, we're able to make everything more efficient and faster to log and more homogenized as well.
Right.
So while combining those two tools together, the potential is enormous.
Yeah, I read in the press release, where the Geotic press release, that you plan on making a powerful combination with the Litholens technology. And Dennis was very excited about the Litholens becoming a monthly subscription SaaS service for people in the industry. So you just closed it on Geotic, but how long do you expect that monthly subscription integration to come into play?
Well, Geotic already has that monthly subscription as their current software. So we plan on adding different tools and plugin to it, and then having that as paid for service or paid plugin for the different tools we want to add. If it's Litholens, if it's a different tool that we develop for another project, put that into Geotic as different plugins, but an offering for the software to make it more competitive and more attracting to all the different companies out there.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. And now the one I'm really interested in is the CEO.ca acquisition. That one, it kind of blew me. It caught me off guard. I was surprised by that one. So why don't you explain what is CEO.ca? A little more detail. You did do a brief description, but what is it, and why acquire it? What value did you see in CEO.ca?
Yeah, CEO.ca, I think it caught lots of investors of GoldSpot off guard. It's a bit different than our normal offering. But we saw really tremendous potential with CEO.ca. CEO.ca was not for sale, but we knew the owner there. And by discussing with him, we saw the potential of marketing capabilities for different companies, but as well the different investors and people that are using the platform, being able to create another SaaS platform for it. So CEO.ca is a social media platform, a web platform for investors to get together and discuss about their investments. There are different boards of each of the different companies, as well as index like gold, silver, Bitcoins. People can discuss their investment, share IDs in order to know more about the company. It's the only platform that offers this. So we saw the potential there for GoldSpot, but as well as how to grow this into something much bigger, where investors, we would be able to create new offerings for the users of the platform, such as a newsletter, different topic on the platform, maybe podcast as well, for different people to listen and talk about their companies, but also know more about the company they're invested into. That was a good offering that we saw potential within it. And the company is already generating revenues and profit through their CEO.ca, the CEO Pro version with level 2 trading for investors. And we plan to add more features for those pro users, such as all the different tools that we built internally that can be applied to investments.
Okay. I do use CEO.ca. I do like the platform. It's great. And there's a chat forum section, and you're almost thinking like a content section for each individual company, if I'm getting that right.
Yes, we want to add a content section as well to it and more data visualization for it. Either it would be the stock chart, changing it to make it a bit more user-friendly, or adding different, let's say, tools or podcasts linked to your channel, let's say, something that follows more the company and people go to that website to know more about each of the company. We want to have CEO.ca be the one-stop shop for mining investors or investors in general. So now it's mostly focused on the mining sector as well, but there's lots of different crypto companies as well that people are involved into, pharmaceutical companies as well and such. So focusing on the different market out there for the users to add more contents for investors.
And could you talk about the deal a little more? Like you completely acquired them. You now make that pro membership revenue, or how does this benefit GoldSpot financially?
Yeah, so we will. So as the platform itself, the platform will remain free for users right now. So we will keep the platform free. We'll keep adding content to it that will also be free, but there will be a pro membership. So the pro membership at the moment, which generates revenues and profit for GoldSpot, will have the level 2 trading, as well as other perks that we will be developing as of in the next few months, that users will start seeing appearing into their subscription package.
Very cool. Now, I was surprised. I joined CEO.ca, and you can have private groups in CEO.ca, and I'm in a private group, and I was surprised at the intelligent investors and speculators out there. It isn't just newbies starting like myself. There's some very intelligent people on this platform, and there's a lot of them are happy spot shareholders in this group. And I said, hey, I'm talking to Vincent this week. Any questions? So I do have a few questions from shareholders, if you don't mind answering some here. One, what is your explanation for why a business that has been as successful and profitable as GoldSpot is still having trouble defining itself and explaining what GoldSpot does to the average investor? Do you find your company struggling to define GoldSpot to the marketplace?
Well, GoldSpot is not just a technology play itself. It's not just an exploration company or a investment and royalty company. We're a bit of everything within that. I think this is where some of the market has had trouble to see what is GoldSpot. However, when you take each of those businesses together, it's easy to understand. The consulting and AI service makes money and makes profits from it. And we're also developing new intellectual property every week that we can use internally, but as well sell eventually. Like Litholens was an internal tool that we developed that is now profitable for us. And if we take our investment portfolio, this one grew tremendously as well. So each of those different sector of GoldSpot as a whole make money, but we're also becoming the one-stop shop in the mining space. If people want investment into their company, they can come see GoldSpot. If they want great services for their project, GoldSpot is there for you, as well as marketing. If you want that for your company, GoldSpot will be there for you. So again, it's not this only one narrow company. It's a company that has multiple branches that are each of them successful.
That's good. Ties into the second question that the group had, but it did take me a while to wrap my head around it. But once you understand it, and it makes sense. The second question was, with GoldSpot expanding at such a rapid pace and adding new clients in addition to multiple acquisitions, what steps is GoldSpot taking to make sure they stay focused and are able to continue to over-deliver in their areas of core competency?
That's a very good question. I think our brand is always on the line. We built the core of the business with our name on the line here. So our first goal was always providing top quality product to our clients. It's always become the case. We do have great managers for each of the projects we have, and each of the subdivisions as well is well led by a strong individual. So by keeping the focus here, we are not stretching ourselves too thin. We're not spreading in a ridiculous space into something that we don't understand. We're keeping things close to us. We understand where we're going. We have a straight plan to go ahead in each of those aspects. So by that, we're able to make sure that GoldSpot is not losing money left and right. We keep everything tight. We're able to know where we're going and have a good plan to go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you. So what would you say your core competency, and maybe Dennis as well, where as the president, Dennis, and as the CEO, you, what are your strengths and what value do you two bring to the company?
I think that's a very good question. At GoldSpot, we're not just Denis, myself, and individuals here. We're a team working together. So we have also CJ, Ben, our CFO, and other in their group that each of us play our own role within the company. So building a team that we had is all something that we did together. So each of us know what we're doing. We're always discussing together, and we have a plan to move it ahead. Some of us maybe have bigger ideas, others are able to focus more on them and achieve those ideas. So it's a group like this that makes a company happen. It's not just one individual that drives everything forward. It's by combining those together that we're able to be where we're at now and sticking together as a team as well.
Good answer. Now, I was telling you before this interview that you guys have a crazy amount of news releases. For a small company, I don't think I've ever seen something with so many news releases, and they're not all fluff. They're actually good deals. They're making things happen, but it's a little hard to keep track of. So why don't you tell me some of your partnerships with exploration companies that you know people should go check out their website and really look into them? I don't think people are understanding their full potential here or recognize just how great of a partnership this is. Is there any key companies that stick out in your mind?
Well, at this time, GoldSpot, we're able to choose, we're able to choose the client we work with. We're not picking any company just like this because they come to our door and want to work with us. Our pipeline is full here. We need to keep hiring good talent to keep growing the business. So by that, I mean, we can choose which client we work with and which client we invest into. So I would say each of the company that we invest into lately and we work with are great companies. By that, it's not something that we choose companies left and right to work with. We're able to do a due diligence on each of them before we start a project.
So are people coming to you? Is it mostly like, are you still seeking out people, or are you at a stage where people are coming to you and you get to vet the companies?
It's a bit of both. We're always looking on our side to find the next client and the next companies, such as some of the majors, but as well, lots of companies or juniors and even majors are coming to us now to work together because of the reputation we built over the years. So it's a bit of of both, I would say. But again, it's something that we're happy to have the opportunity for it. It was not always the case, but we were able to get there with the quality work we produced and the good deliverables as well.
Thank you. And I better ask this question for potential investors and speculators out there. What's your cash position at right now? And do you expect dilution down the line?
Well, we just raised this past spring, we raised $20 million. With that and the portfolio we had of, I think, over $50 million of liquid asset. At the moment, we're not in need for cash. Even with the acquisition we made, which had a cash portion to it, there shouldn't be any dilution in the near and medium future. We're well cashed. We have lots of good assets, and we can just keep growing the business as it is, since all of the divisions are cash flow positive.
Okay, thank you. And was it March? I think it was March, that course issuer bid where you could buy back 5% of your shares. Your company did have a nice run up with the newfound gold news. I'm saying, but it might be more than just that, but it had a nice run up. It corrected. It's around the 80-cent range as of recording today. Do you think are you guys interested in buying back shares at these prices, or is there better use of capital right now?
It's a good question. I think it's something we could think about. It's there. So we established this policy in case the share price goes a bit lower. But again, at the moment, we prefer to invest heavily into the technology versus buying shares back. We're not too diluted. Our shares are tightly held. So buying back shares, it may not be the best use of capital for us at the moment. versus investing heavily into the technology, which would bring a multiple eventually down the line. So this is where our head's at.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to know. You answered a lot of my questions today. I appreciate it, but I have 3 more in the vault. And these are mentorship-like questions that aren't about GoldSpot or the new deals you've done. It's more what kind of advice you could provide the young listeners out there just starting and investing or speculating. But we're also looking at just general life advice. So let's get into the vault.
Yeah, thank you, Gal.
So in the vault, like I said, just 3 mentorship-like questions. The first one, what did your parents teach you at a young age that has stuck with you to today?
Well, I think the main thing that still stuck with me is being honest about myself, understanding where I want to go and what I want to be, but also not regretting life decisions. Let's say just by myself, I could have had the opportunity to finish my master's and go work in the corporate life and as a geologist, but I decided to take the chance and start GoldSpot. Which led to where I'm at today. It wasn't, as I said, it wasn't easy to get there. Lots of hard work and sweat, but again, it's something that I would never regret of doing. So I decided to. That's one of the main things: being honest about myself, true to others, but as well, never regret anything.
Good answer. Second question: we are the Wealth Holders podcast. So can you name a wealth holder or a high net worth individual? And if you don't want to disclose their name, that's fine too. But what did he or she teach you, either in business or in life?
Well, I think what stuck me the most, it's something I read, Warren Buffett biography and other books that he also referred to. It's not just seeing the short-term gains. I think we're all attracted to those 20, 40% day over day gains. But again, to build wealth, it's a long run game. It's a snowball effect, really. So it's the same way we see GoldSpot. GoldSpot does have ups and downs, but at the same time, value is being generated within the company and people are seeing it more and more. We saw it through our stock, which we were about 20 cents about a year ago, and now in the 80 cents range. Just by keeping grinding the work, doing good work and building wealth over time is more valuable than just chasing the small hot topics here and there. That's what I think I would remember the most and what I try to live by.
Yeah, it's smart advice. A lot of people going to uranium, going to silver, going to crypto, bouncing around, and then you might be, it doesn't take much to just be a little late to the party and then it corrects. And
that's right. Exactly. So you can see other people make it 200x on their position, let's say Bitcoin, and you could have bought it at $1 and now it's around $40,000. Sure, there's all those gains that are there, but chasing them, as you said, you could have bought it at 80,000 and now it's 40,000. So you lost a lot of wealth with that.
For sure. And last question: I'm just a 26-year-old starting his journey in life. Any advice for the young listeners out there?
That's a good one. I think as a young person as well, keep on going. It's really what it is, and be happy with what you're doing. I see. So at the end, it's just not regretting what you're doing, not expecting other people to give you something either. Go get it yourself and work with what you have. Everybody has lots of skills. You know them. Be confident in yourself, and you're able to build something. Try it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But there's nothing to lose there, except a little bit of time, but you learn from that experience and you can move ahead from it.
Exactly. Well said, Vincent. I do like letting my guests close off though. So here's your chance. Say whatever you'd like to the audience out there, but just please close us off.
Well, thanks, Cal, for having you. It's always a pleasure to listen to your interviews. They are true, honest. But again, it's something that I like about your podcast. And it's if ever someone has any questions about GoldSpot, about anything, I'm always there to answer. So if anything, they can reach me out on LinkedIn or just send an email to GoldSpot account.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cal.